Does every country have different culture? Is there any culture superiority? Culture are norms, rules, and standards that are shared within a group of people. And yes, every country owns different culture. The most common is language. Each and every country communicate using their own language. For example, in Manila, Philippines, the language used is Tagalog, and in Korea, Korean people speaks Korean. These ethnic distinctions and subdivisions serve to define each ethnicity's unique cultural identity. The superiority of one's culture is believed to exist. Superiority happens when a group of people think that their culture is greater than the other. Hijab is a religious veil worn by Muslim women. From other people with different perspective, wearing a veil is weird and out of style or out of fashion, and tend to discriminate women wearing hijab. Now, considering these judgmental words, it links to the term ethnocentrism. What is ethnocentrism? Ethnocentrism is judging another culture solely by the values and standards of one's own culture. William G. Summer defined ethnocentrism as technical name for the view of things in which one's own group is the center of everything, and all others are scaled and rated with reference to it. He further characterized it as often leading to pride, vanity, beliefs of one's own group's superiority, and contempt of outsiders. In the study of anthropology, ethnocentric are people born into a particular culture that grow up absorbing the values and behaviors of the culture will develop a worldview that considers their culture to be the norm. Let's go back to the woman in a hijab. While people are having weird feelings and discriminating women wearing hijab, there are also people who respect and understand the reason behind wearing a religious veil. The act of respecting and understanding one's culture is called cultural relativism. Cultural relativism is a response to Western ethnocentrism. Cultural relativism means that there is no absolute right or wrong and seeks to understand that we have different cultures which are equal and valid. It was established as accepted in anthropological research by Franz Boas, who first articulated the idea in 1886. Civilization is not something absolute, but is relative, and our ideas and conceptions are true only so far as our civilization goes. However, Boas did not coin the term. He understood culture to include not only certain tastes in food, art, and music, or beliefs about religion. He assumed a much broader notion of culture, defined as the totality of the mental and physical reactions and activities that characterize the behavior of the individual, composing a social group collectively and individually in relation to their natural environment, to other groups, to members of the group itself, and of each individual to himself. This understanding of culture confronts anthropologists with two problems. First, how to escape the unconscious bounds of one's own culture, which inevitably bias our perceptions of and reactions to the world. Second, how to make sense of an unfamiliar culture. In generalization,
Ethnocentrism is the tendency to assume that one's own culture and way of life represent the norm or are superior to all others. Cultural relativism, the viewing of people's behavior from the perspective of their own culture.
Waking up in this bed next to you, swear the room